In the SEC, the football stadiums are awe-inspiring palaces, reaching into the heavens almost as if they were built by the hand of God himself. They're intrinsic symbols that represent the proud history and tradition of college football's most celebrated conference.
They say if you love what you do, you'll never have to work a day in your whole life, and that's always been the goal for us. Two die-hard sports fans from Missouri, a state that's brand new to the SEC footprint. So from internet sports hosts to filmmakers, we set off on a 4,000-mile journey in hopes of crashing each SEC stadium along the way. It's a beautiful day outside, and it's a beautiful day here and wherever we are. We're about an hour and a half from Columbia. You're out here, it's all about the tunes, man. We gotta get the Motley, the Skinnerd, the road trip music, you know what I mean? We gotta get more of that going on.
If only you could sync it up here if there was an option with this car.
I feel like if I could sync my phone to this car to get some tunes going, then it would be a much better experience. Sitting here, in relative silence has proven to be a little bit detrimental.
It has, just taking in the trees and the grass, the open road, the construction work, the stop and go traffic. It's beautiful.
There is something about being on the open road, though. It's almost like your inhibitions have left you.
Yeah, you're not trapped in. You can go anywhere you want, do anything.
A lot of the kids who come to school here from the South, athletes and beyond, will tell you that Mizzou brand is really starting to get recognized. 2 years ago, if you walked around with the Mizzou logo, the tiger head, people were kind of like, what's that? They didn't know. And now they really know. And it's helping to provide that expansion for the entire university. And I think going to the SEC is going to go down as one of the top things in the history of the University of Missouri. The biggest thing about Faurot, it's 71,000 strong, so it's certainly not one of the smallest in the league. But it seems lower. Now, when you walk in there and you're on the field and you're at field level, now all of a sudden you're looking up, you're looking at the new upper deck, you're looking at the new east side, club seating construction, and it's got a little bit more height to it. But whenever you walk up to it, or you're looking at it from Stadium Boulevard, you're looking much more down.
It's the best conference in the world, and we're a better place to start, man. When we're crashing stadiums, right here at Faurot Field, man, it's good to be here.
Couple hours to Columbia, crashing the first stadium, we're on our way.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U!
Down.
As we embark on this journey to conquer the entire SEC, it was more than fitting that we began in the state that we call home. But deep down, we realized the limitless possibilities that lie ahead.
Seriously, Honky Tonk Central in Nashville. If nothing else, at Vanderbilt Stadium, which is a little small.
A little bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah.
After that, Honky Tonk Central and Broadway Street. That's all that matters. Yeah, man. Vanderbilt's weird. It's like not really a part of the SEC, even though it's a great school. The stadium's tiny.
Too much into academics, not enough into football for my taste.
I agree. I don't know. We'll get in there. It'll be easy to get in. Whoever said life on the road was easy has obviously never been relegated to eating meat and cheese sandwiches on the side of the road under the blistering sun. But regardless, we trudged along towards the SEC's biggest city, Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, you know rule number one of stadium crashing, never give up on a crash until the police kick you out. So I'll tell you what, if
they haven't kicked us out yet.
You still rolling? That's pretty good. That's really good. Yeah, that's at least I'm glad they have that. And I think the basketball team will be better this year too. Oh yeah, the SEC game. It's very cool. And here at Vanderbilt, we're ready to anchor down and get this thing done. One of the smallest venues in the SEC, but one of the nicest settings for college football. No, this is great, and it's wonderful to be here on the campus of Vanderbilt. And I wish I was smart enough to go here.
Yes.
Still waiting for my acceptance letter here at Vanderbilt.
I am as well. Jordan Matthews, Vanderbilt alum, wide receiver, having much success in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll be around town, Nashville, see if we can run into Skip Bayless, Jay Cutler, former Vanderbilt alums. It's great to be here at Vanderbilt.
We were coming in. Did it really? Yeah. Yeah, it's got a cool vibe. It really does. So I was definitely being truthful. I think we got some good words in there. It's kind of funny, poignant at the same
time. Vanderbilt may not be at the pinnacle of SEC football supremacy, but we couldn't leave town without experiencing all that Nashville had to offer.
Normal rope, kind you'd find in any American bedroom, just the same. Now, this is the first thing I learned when I became a magician, very first thing. Are we ready, Noah?
We are ready.
One final countdown, let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. There it is, fellas.
Alright guys, looks like there's going to be some construction at Kentucky all around. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know where we're going to get in. Hard hats or something? Stop at Walmart? I don't know.
So a little construction.
A little bit
of construction. You know, these type of situations, we knew this was coming. We knew Kentucky was renovating this Commonwealth Stadium. We knew it was being renovated.
This was on the horizon. We just got to deal with it.
So
try and find a way in.
The good news is there's construction, meaning a lot of workers around. Bad news is there's construction, and if we have to go buy hard hats and bright colored shirts, we're going to get in Commonwealth Stadium. That's how I feel
We
about
both got our
it.
Kentucky blue on. Maybe that'll ease the tensions and they'll let us in.
Well, and it is a football stadium. I feel if this is Rupp Arena, we may have some trouble. Hey, they said we wouldn't get into all 14.
This one was tough. Construction outside. Had to talk to a worker, 2 foremen. Didn't get our hard hats, but we found a way in.
Eat, sleep, conquer the SEC, and the Stadium Crashers doing what we do best, man. What do you think this is going to look like? Obviously, they're in the midst of construction. I think this is going to look really nice. Kentucky.
Unbelievable. Press boxes up there, luxury boxes.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done still before the season. In the midst of our third crash, the enormity of what we were attempting started to unfold before our very eyes. Perhaps everyone's mission in life should be to find their beach. Now more than ever, it's quite clear we've found ours. So if you ever go to a Tennessee game in Knoxville, 100,000 people all wearing orange. It's a little bit too much for the eyes to even take in, to be honest.
Orange is my favorite color. I'm not sure I can get too much of it, but maybe in Neyland Stadium is the one who's space.
Yeah, Tennessee though, coming up here, this is a beautiful part of the country. Traveling through, the Smoky Mountains, great setting. Can't wait to get there. But one thing that always kind of gets under my skin about Tennessee is the fight song. Is Rocky Top, Tennessee. I mean, they play it nonstop, and you're like, Rocky Top.
Okay, I get it.
Always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. We're up on Rocky Top, Tennessee. This is insane, man. This is just, it's as if this was built by the hand of God himself, this Neyland Stadium.
It's just a gigantic palace, over 100,000 seated here. It is just amazing to be in here. This is SEC football. National championship banners blowing in the wind. Got the sun setting behind us. It's just a beautiful sight. Can't believe we made it in Neyland Stadium. Had some problems in the front. We always find a way in.
Always find a way in, and you know our rules of stadium crashing. Never give up on a crash because you will get in the stadium. And here we are, guys. It's a beautiful setting. One of the best stadiums in all of college football.
There's no doubt Neyland Stadium was our first foray into a more imposing SEC setting. Standing on the field inside this massive structure with 102,000 empty seats surrounding us, it was a cathartic experience. With 4 stadiums successfully crashed, it was hard to fathom anything possibly standing in our way.
That's 5 Dallas, Java 13 Central.
By the cop car, and he comes over and is talking to, what are you guys doing here?
I mean, you're trying to...
Shooting a little documentary, just wanted to get in the stadium and get a few shots. And
I'll never understand it. You've got people out there, you've got in the probably within a few miles from where we were standing, cooking meth in their freaking basements, and we're sitting there trying to get...
We walked by a house with couches out on the front patio and boarded up windows, and yet there's 3 cop cars outside of the gate at Neyland trying to get people out of there. We got to lock up the gates, a guy harassing us, getting out of his cop car. We remain undaunted following our inevitable brush with the law. With only the Smoky Mountains and 260 miles separating us from our next destination, there was nothing left to do but kick back and enjoy our scenic surroundings. However, the vast landscape didn't comply with modern technology, like our typically reliable GPS.
Where even are we right now?
I don't know.
South Carolina, North Carolina?
Somewhere in South Carolina or North Carolina. It said right here we were on 26, I don't know. I can't make
Got off, we're on these back roads. I
back row.
don't know.
With frustration and fatigue setting in and our journey into the lonely dark night just beginning, we were able to navigate our way back on course as the moon invitingly beckoned us towards Gamecock country. Those Gamecock pajamas? They are.
So I pull into this girl's driveway, and she's standing there wearing ratty old PJs. We're about to walk into our house, and I notice that covering the door frame is just a blanket. No door, just sweep the blanket by and walk in. I had to get out of there.
Oh, what do you know? Some more construction.
Oh, lovely.
Do you think Spurrier would just let us in if we bashed SEC officiating enough?
Probably. I'm sure he's in there longing for the days of Connor Shaw looking at his quarterbacks on the depth chart this year.
Perfect. I think we found a way in.
Yeah.
Hello, Williams-Brice.
I go under the stadium and we'll have to weave our way around.
Into the bowels we go.
The bowels of Williams-Brice.
Ooh. Oh, that was the wrong way. Hello, Williams-Brice.
Wrong way. I think I may have cut myself.
Really?
We're good.
Nothing like waking up in the morning, crashing a stadium, and I told you we would make it in.
That's right. Looks like you're not going to have to get that tattoo. Hey. Some unforeseen construction on the way in. We found a way. Looks like there's a gate open down
The
here.
question is the old ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier, going to welcome us here to Williams-Brice Stadium?
Maybe Jadavian Clowney is on the 50-yard line working out so we can actually play one down in the NFL.
That's that flow. Okay, well, not only was this the home of South Carolina Gamecocks, but we're also entering the home of the Eastern State Wolves from the movie The Program. So this is a double. Man.
Hollow ground.
This
Hollow
is great.
ground. South Carolina may not have joined the SEC until 1992, but unwavering fan support and recent success under Steve Spurrier has proven they belong. On game days, the old ball coach may roam these sidelines, but today, Williams-Brice Stadium belongs to the Stadium Crashers.
Set me up. Let's go. To be 5-0 so far,
Sun
5
shining.
up, 5 down.
Yeah, I feel like we are unstoppable. We are on a great pace. The SEC has nothing on the Stadium Crashers. We're going to get it.
So we said we need sleep and conquer the SEC. So far, so good. And we'll see.
Not so much on the sleeping side. Barely eating. We are conquering, though.
Wait a
That is the
second.
main objective.
We don't have enough time for this. We've got to get to Georgia, and I'll beat you there.
No, Athens is mine.
By this point, literally every mile looks and feels the same, and driving has become mind-numbingly monotonous. We passed through towns like strangers in a crowd as we barreled towards Athens, Georgia, where this excursion took an unforeseen and eye-opening detour. They always say that SEC fans are a cut above the rest, and we were about to find out why.
Well, I'm a little partial, as you know, but I think it's the best stadium in the conference. It's in a natural place because where Sanford Stadium is located is the divide between North and South Campus. It's great. There are other great stadiums in this conference, but I think Sanford Stadium is actually one of the very best.
But is there a school that you just hate?
Well, it'd have to be Florida for me. But there's a lot of them that I don't like. It's hard. We're in an era now where you're trying to pull for your conference if you're not if they're playing somebody else. It's awful hard for me to pull for Florida and Auburn and South Carolina, even though they may be in a bowl game against a Big Ten or a Pac-10 school or something like that. It's awful hard. These rivalries go deep, and there's a lot of history. There's a lot of history to them. I think anything in the Southeastern Conference is all about tradition. And I believe that if you were raised in this state, typically you are a University of Georgia fan. And not having an NFL team here till the late 60s, and not having another one in the South till years later, I think college football reigns here. And the University of Georgia is the flagship university to this state, and it's in the region. Georgia has a lot of class, a lot of character, and there's a reason it's called the Empire State of the South.
That's
That's good old Gator Bowl turf after an upset of the #1 Gators, and they've never been over it.
Somebody asked me one day, said, "What have you ever gotten out of Georgia football? You spent all this money.
Right.
You know, you've traveled to Ole Miss. You ever counted up what you spend on a gallon of gas here and a program at LSU or a steak dinner in Arkansas or whatever?" And I'm saying, well, I've got some of the best friends in the world. And that's what the University of Georgia is. It's just a camaraderie of people that come together and under two simple words: go Dogs. Here's the best thing. My room's a little messy. You got a view of the stadium.
Oh yeah, I said you gotta have that view.
You got to have that view. That's going to be wet up there, so you probably want to.
Yeah, we don't want to track it back in.
But there's the little view.
We knew during this journey that we would face many unknowns along the way. However, our chance encounter with David wound up changing not only the trip itself, but the entire trajectory of the film. Clearly, we had met a kindred spirit in David, and his southern hospitality and unabashed fandom left an indelible mark. We hoped that this would not be the last time our paths crossed.
Second story. Might have to go down another flight.
Come on, let's go around there. Let's go back around.
Yeah, let's go.
This has been the toughest crash so far here at Sanford Stadium, and I'm telling you, it's great to be here. This is a historic venue, over 90,000 coming here in one of the loudest venues in the SEC. This is a wonderful venue, one of the most historic in the conference. Think about all the greats, AJ Green, back to Herschel Walker.
Aaron Murray with the Chiefs. Todd Gurley just got drafted by the Rams, number 10 overall. Just amazing players coming through this university.
6-0 now.
That is 6.
And
all 6. We've been to 6. We knocked 6 out of the park.
We got to get to 7. This is a parking ticket.
Our first parking violation on the road trip.
First parking violation.
This is really how we feel about it. So.
This is really how I feel about it, and this is what I just don't know if I'm ever going to be able. I don't know. I don't know what this means. It's just
probably just not going to pay that. So,
I don't know. Where'd it go? It's gone.
Yeah, no parking ticket. Great.
I've never really cared for LSU. We call them the circus. You know, they come in, they think it's Mardi Gras year round, and it's.
Do they smell like corn dogs? Is that a true story?
Well, I think that's a credit. Florida's tough. Mullets and jean shorts aren't my thing. And Tennessee, I don't need a chain on my wallet anymore. So.
Well, according to this, it looks like the Swamp's going to be locked up for 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my.
Should have expected that.
I know.
I don't know what we were thinking. We didn't account for the 4th of July things.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. You got to press on. We got to press on. As of right now, it looks like the Swamp is going to be probably our toughest situation because the holiday, just everything's locked up. I mean,
yeah.
That's something
Everyone's gone for the holiday. Nobody working there. Just locked up tight. So we will see.
Travis McGriff, what's up, man? They're talking about the Swamp being locked up today, man. How do we get into this thing?
On the west side of the stands, on the press box side, in the southwest corner, there's a ramp that leads up, and usually that gate is open, and so you guys could go in there and walk around and check it out. You guys enter there in that southwest corner, and you should have full access.
Okay, now I know exactly how Rudy's dad felt in the movie Rudy. Like this is the greatest sight these eyes have seen.
I mean, this has got to be my favorite so far. The colors, the pageantry, the players, thinking of it all, the orange, the blue, the slogans, painted Florida on the seats, Gators, I love it.
Well, they say only Gators get out alive, and that may not include us because we're here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium and our skin is melting off our bodies. They say it's the most humid environment in the SEC, and in July, it definitely is.
It definitely is. We've crashed a few so far. Nothing like this one. Our skin melting off. I may look like a lobster right now, but it is a sight to take in, a sight to see, so I don't care that my skin is melting off right now.
It's the 4th of July, it's Gainesville, and we're 7-0. We're halfway through the SEC. We eat, sleep, we conquer the SEC.
This is conquering the SEC East. We move on to the SEC West next in our next 7.
And I'll tell you what, there's nothing like coming in here on a hot July 4th in the Swamp and becoming Gator bait, because that's exactly what we've become.
Yeah, we are. Well, looks like we have a little sign here. Field access is prohibited at all times, but that is not for the stadium crashers.
Rules of stadium crashing go as follows. Never finish a crash until you're all the way in, and never ever come into a stadium unless you're going to go on the field.
Yes, these signs mean nothing to us.
Yeah, let's go Gators!
Get out.
Go Gators!
So mad. It's a domestic situation. Act like we're... Oh! Oh, goodness. Gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking Georgia might have the prettiest girls. I mean, I'm starting to think Florida. What about you?
Yeah, okay, we're here on the 4th of July. It's packed.
That's
it's like,
true.
It's like Yeah, as of tonight, people weren't
right
really
by
out.
campus.
People weren't really out in Athens.
That's true, yeah.
And here tonight it's crazy. Like, I don't know, it's been such a whirlwind so far. I mean, we're halfway done. The SEC is done. And it's like, how much steam do you have left? Like, I feel like I still have about half the tank left, which is,
I mean, I may be a fourth of a tank, quarter of a tank, but we need more. Hopefully this will bring energy back. Maybe we can find some fireworks tonight. That'll bring some energy back. Get my tank up to half where it needs to be because we got half of the SEC left. So
give us a simultaneous gator talk. What's your favorite part about going to a game at the Swamp?
Just being around all the fans and knowing that we're all there for the same reason.
How loud is it? Pretty loud.
Yeah, you pretty much can't hear anybody. I've been to an NFL game and like a college game, and college games are way crazier. Like NFL is nothing compared to college games.
Actually, you know what? Let's get in the shot with them real quick. Maybe do a chomp with you guys. If that's cool.
Yeah.
This is. Can you get all of us in it?
As long as you're a real Gator fan.
Yeah. Well, we're from Missouri, but. I'm. You
go to FSU and you're like.
No. We don't do. They're not in the SEC, so we're not doing that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Sitting in the rafters of the Swamp, we were able to take in the magnificent sights around us. We felt it necessary to take one more celebratory run onto the field after conquering the SEC's Eastern Division. And even though we knew the toughest roads lay ahead, we took this night to indulge in a small slice of Americana on our nation's birthday.
It's a totally different culture and mentality. We can do anything we want to do.
But every town in the SEC has its own personality. And when you talk about culture fit, what I think of really is the structure of the athletic departments, the way they're run, the sports that are played, the competitiveness, the always moving forward. What are we building next? What are we adding next? What are we doing next to build this place and make it bigger and better? And I think you see that in every single athletic department in the SEC. Where are we expanding? Where are we getting better? What are we adding? What are we improving? What are we renovating? What are we building? How are we getting better? And when you talk about it like that, Mizzou really fits in with the SEC. I don't know that everybody understands how much respect there is for the SEC championship game. That first Saturday of December in the Georgia Dome across the South. It's a tremendously respected event. And you get into that game not once but twice. You're really announcing not only to the entire SEC but to the whole South who you are and how good you are. And the thing about the SEC is there's so much passion every single week. I mean, I feel the energy every single stadium I've walked into.
Overall, I think if a young player from Missouri now thinks that he can play on TV every week, have its own network, have a flagship deal with a major network like CBS, can be on at 3:30. It's a lot more appealing than going to, say, a Kansas or a Kansas State.
I'm pretty sure when you go play at Texas A&M in South Carolina, it's a little different than Hickman High School. There's a lot more people and it's a little more pressure, so I need to work on the mindset.
It's tradition, but it's the whole experience. It's just not the game. It's just not the teams. It's recruiting. Some of the best players in the country come from here. It's a warm climate. They can be out participating in sports many more months than they can in other areas. So that's a big thing. Recruiting's a big thing, but it's more of a tradition here because there were very little professional sports here early on. So if you were, in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, sports in the South tend to turn to college football. And that's the reason the Southeastern Conference It's like it is. It's the reason we've won, 7 of the last 8 or 8 of the last 9, whatever it is. It's like that. And then usually, if you look at those teams and that have won that, usually the second or third best team came from the Southeastern Conference too. That's our biggest challenge, is not to just beat up on everybody.
The SEC West, the SEC as a whole, but the SEC West in particular it's a gauntlet. That being your conference schedule where you play all of those teams in football at least once. All the teams are not good, they're great. They're great football programs in the entire SEC.
Sweet home Alabama, better now. Where the sky is also blue, don't bet you down bound. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Yes, I am. We are not planning on poisoning the Tumors Corner trees today. It's not going to happen.
Thought about
now rolling Tumors Corner. That I'm not sure about. It depends on what kind of a deal we can get on, like some cheap toilet paper. I don't know.
Yeah, budget's running pretty thin. We're gonna have to look for some buy one get the second roll free toilet paper.
You think about this. You think about Auburn, and you think about Pat Dye. You think about Bo Jackson. You think about these. Of recent, Cam Newton.
Our good friend Jarris McIntyre, we've been in contact with him about how to get into the stadium, former wide receiver at Auburn. Looks like it could be closed up. We're going to have to get in.
Really?
Pulled a hammy.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you really? No.
Yeah. Something.
What?
Oh.
Are you okay?
Anything for the crash.
It's just a tweak. Please say it's just a tweak. Oh, God. Where are we?
The bowels of hell.
This is the bowels of Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Well, that's not hell. That's an amazing stadium.
No! Are you serious?
All this way.
Oh my gosh. God damn it, I can't. Just kidding. God. We pulled off the Miracle on the Plains Part 2 because we are in Jordan-Hare Stadium here at Auburn. Just a glorious setting. I know we say that about all of them. This is unbelievable. And this is also the site of the famous Kick Six, one of the most unbelievable, unfathomable plays in sports history.
Chris Davis returning a missed field goal, 109 yards back for a touchdown.
So, there's only one thing left to do. When you're here at Jordan-Hare, and you're in an empty stadium that that seats 88,000 people.
The ghost of Cam Newton. Not really ghost.
There's only one thing left to do. You say, War Eagle, roll tide. I'm feeling like the only thing that left to do in this situation is to reenact Chris Davis's moment. Now, I don't know that I can run it as fast as he did or make it as glorious as he did. We're in an empty stadium.
Or make it the whole 109 yards. Can you do that?
We're going to find out. But if you kick this ball off to me, I'm going to return it 109 yards and really put a stamp here on Jordan-Hare Stadium, because this is an amazing experience. That play stands out in Iron Bowl history. Auburn, Alabama.
Football history, maybe the best play in college football.
Yeah, just the best rivalry, Auburn, Alabama, and visiting Auburn first gives us a unique perspective. So why don't you go ahead and kick this ball off to me, and I'll see if I can make it the 109. First, you have to miss the 57-yard field goal.
That should be easy. I should be able to do that.
And then I have to return it. So let's see if we can do it.
All right.
Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow.
Unquestionably, we experienced our own little miracle on the plains at Auburn. They say when you're born in the state of Alabama, you better pick a side at birth, although we remain uncertain as to where our loyalties actually lie, even after being sucked into all the wonderful traditions Auburn has to offer.
Before heading west to Auburn's biggest and most hated rival, we decided to stop by Toomer's Corner to make sure Harvey Updike shenanigans doesn't cost Auburn one of its most prized traditions. Before happening upon this, Talladega, Alabama, you could have given me $1 million, 50 guesses, and I would not have guessed that it was here.
Alabama.
Crimson Tide, roll Tide!
War Eagle.
Roll Tide! Almost 8 wrecks, slamming on brakes. People slamming on brakes, but I can't believe we haven't gotten to a wreck yet. And it looks like we are headed towards Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and we were supposed to get there at 5.
Heading west towards Tuscaloosa, we knew we would be faced with a whole new batch of challenges. The fans here live and die by every move the Crimson Tide make. We were about to come face to face with the stadium that houses the premier powerhouse college football program in the land. And we were more than a little intimidated to be in the shadows of Bear Bryant. After walking around the outside of the stadium for what felt like hours, failure was clearly beginning to stare us right in the face. If we couldn't get into the stadium on foot, we had no choice but to take to the air.
Knowing that leaving empty-handed was not an option, our persistence finally paid off, and a little good fortune came our way. Most teams that play here wish they hadn't made the trip. We came to play, and we're walking out with our biggest victory yet. The silence inside Alabama's locker room echoed with the ghost of champions past. Standing on this hallowed ground, our unbridled passion and undying devotion to this project became more clear than ever. Walking down the tunnel, seeing the stadium open up before our very eyes, made us feel every bit a part of those 16 championships, countless All-Americans, and the legendary coaches. Not even Bear Bryant, Derek Thomas, Joe Namath, nor Nick Saban himself could stand in our way today.
And there's only one thing left to say here. I know I said War Eagle yesterday, but today it's Roll Tide Roll!
Roll Tide Roll, 9-0.
Oh, I wish I was in the land of cotton. Old times there are not forgotten. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Dixieland, where I was born in early on one frosty morning. Look away, look away, look away.
Ole Miss has a unique aura with regards to SEC lore. Its ties to the Civil War and the Confederacy are well documented. Racism and rioting were commonplace at Ole Miss in the early 60s. We wanted to learn as much about this history as possible, and clearly the university has done a tremendous job distancing itself from the ghosts of Ole Miss past. The song Dixie, the Confederate flag, and the mascot Rebel Reb are no longer a part of the school's traditions.
Well, it's hard to compare stadiums, I guess, against other stadiums. It's like it's perfect for us, and it's unique, and so it's a special place, especially for our fans. There is nothing else like it. I've been to just about every other place, and have been to places that claim that there's similarities to it, but there's nothing like the Grove. there's something different about the memories you create around sports. There's something unique about that.
That's gonna cost. That's gonna cost.
Hotty toddy, Ole Miss. I tell you what, this is something else. They say that Ole Miss never loses a tailgate, they never lose a party, and I'm feeling the love in Oxford today.
Oh, I am. Driving through, seeing the Grove, the roundabout, coming up to the stadium. This thing is beautiful, beautiful campus we have here. Definitely gonna have to go around that. It is great to be here at Ole Miss.
A school that's a forward-thinking institution that has, again, done a great job of distancing themselves from that, even though there is a proud history behind the Rebel name and the, the fight song Dixie, the Rebel flag, all had positive connotations. At one point, unfortunately, turned into negatives, and that's something that we as a society and the university has done a good job of distancing themselves from. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Something that started out one way and now it's turned into something that's used for hate, and that's why everyone's trying to distance themselves from it now. We've heard about South Carolina taking it off major buildings that they have, and the Ole Miss still wearing the gray pants. Will that be changed someday? Ole Miss may not have one of the bigger stadiums in the SEC, but like Michael Thompson said, it's perfect for them. He talked about making memories through sports, and we were able to make some of our own here in Oxford. The Ole Miss administration was first class in welcoming us, just as Rebel fans embrace opponents into the Grove on game days.
There's no game day experience like it, not in any sport. It's totally unique, and you have to see it to believe it.
With energy levels desperately waning and anxiety at its height, the realization set in that the home stretch was upon us as we made the 97-mile trek from Oxford to Starkville, aka Stark Vegas, home of laid-back living, southern comforts, and passion that exudes from Bulldog fans, all of whom believe that this is their state. Hail State. These spirited fanatics flood into Davis Wade Stadium every Saturday in the fall, and they come together under two simple words: more cowbell.
You know she was a dancer, moved better run while the rest of them dudes were getting their kids.
Stumbled onto a team practice here on Mississippi State in Starkville. They're going at it on the field.
Yeah, as soon as we got here, 5 o'clock, they're starting a team practice, so it doesn't look like there's much access to the field.
We'll see what happens. You never know. Mississippi State, Hail State, by the way. Hail State, and Mississippi State was so kind to allow us to come in here. Well,
feels so good being 11-0.
11-0. We're here, and I'll tell you what, Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, coming off a tremendous 10-win season, and they're working out in this stadium right now, doing a team workout, probably a non-mandatory team workout, getting ready for the season, getting ready to get back out there.
Yeah, can't have the coaches here, but this just a team workout, unsanctioned by the NCAA, just working out.
Unsanctioned by the Stadium Crashers too, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know how sanctioned we are to be here, but that doesn't matter. The Mississippi State has allowed us to film this wonder, and this is if you could see, I mean, Mississippi State's done a great job renovating the stadium. It previously only sat 55,000 people.
It's unbelievable to think we crashed it, we're here, they got a team practice going on, unbelievable.
What more can you say about Mississippi State that hasn't already been said or not said? Mississippi State, that's where we are. The maroon and white clad Mississippi State Bulldogs, who under Coach Dan Mullen pulled it together for a 10-2 season last year.
He was on the hot seat for a little bit.
Wound up number 1 in the country. Yeah. Dak Prescott, certainly a Heisman candidate going forward, and we are here. We could not be more excited. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than right here at Mississippi State University, and everybody has been so nice and excited to have us that I don't want to go home. I'm not going home. I live here now.
I'm going to start running the stairs with the team. I feel like I'm part of them.
Let's
go.
They
let us in.
Oh, let's go. Let's see some work.
Let's go.
Do some work.
Do some work, son. Let's go.
LSU, baby!
Tiger Stadium, here we come.
I spent last night in the arms of a girl in Louisiana. But along the highway, my thoughts her. Such a strange combination of a woman and a child. Such a strange situation, stopping every 100 miles, calling Baton Rouge.
And mark my word, we are definitely getting into all the stadiums. We're already 11-0. This is going 14-0. Nothing can stop us now. I know we're coming up to two big ones. It's not going to happen.
I'll tell you what, I'm skeptical.
If Bama can't keep us out, sure as hell LSU and Texas A&M aren't keeping us out. We arrive on the bayous of Baton Rouge with an unblemished record and exuding supreme confidence. Sure, Tiger Stadium is one of the most daunting structures in all of sports, but this trip has already presented numerous trials and tribulations, each of which fell by our wayside. Unquestionably, it's the fans that help give Tiger Stadium its imposing presence.
Tiger Stadium, especially at night, it's deafening loud too. It's absolutely, this past year, it was the loudest football environment I've ever been in my life, ever.
Desperately, we scoured the exterior of the stadium for any possible way in. The despair and utter disbelief washed over us, and our final last-ditch effort was quickly thwarted as well.
Talked to the chief of police, and we're not getting in. They say they don't let anyone in here. It's closed up no matter what. We're out.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
a no-go. We've talked to several people around the stadium. They're not letting anybody in.
I can't
Another
believe
group
it.
tried to get in.
Seriously, turn it off.
Just
Seriously,
stop.
turn it off.
Stop. Get back. Crossing over the Texas border from Louisiana, we knew that we had to leave the lingering feelings of denial and depression behind. The disappointment of being shut out at LSU gave way to a glimmer of hope as the sun began to dissolve across the endless Texas sky. The 5-hour drive gave us plenty of time to recover and refocus our efforts onto the largest football stadium the SEC has to offer. This journey was not over, not by a long shot. There's the Big Daddy.
Yeah, it'll be a great place to play on Saturdays. You know, this place loves football, and we got one of the best fan bases in the world, so it's going to be great. Yeah, man, it's wild. You run out of that tunnel, you know, 100,000 plus. It's just pretty crazy. Something you can't forget for the rest of your life, really.
I'm sorry, we're closed to the public, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You haven't set up a tour with the facilities office come in.
Oh, okay. Where's that?
Are you doing any today?
You can go, if you walk out there to the left, keep going where that big statue is.
Okay.
All the clear doors behind there, walk through there. The office on your left says facilities office. You can walk there and talk to the person at the front desk.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Well, in the midst of the Kyle Field crash, we had a fire alarm go off. We
did get in. Got to the field. Didn't get on the field. There's construction over the entire field.
It's the top stadium probably in the SEC, probably in the nation right now. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to get in. We found a gate that came open. We walked through. The gate closes behind us, catching us inside. We find the field, and then the fire alarm goes off. We have to make our way out.
Texas A&M, just one of the finest institutions, best fans, nicest people you will ever see in your life here in Aggie Land. And before we go, I got one thing left to say. That's get 'em, Aggies!
Get 'em!
By evening's end, we considered ourselves very much a part of the legendary 12th man tradition, and despite ongoing construction at Kyle Field, we took one last jaunt around the iconic A&M campus on this perfect summer night. Having been so laser focused on the task at hand, we decided to take this last opportunity to experience some College Station nightlife and make a few bad decisions.
Fayetteville represented much more to us than simply the 14th stop on a 4,000-mile road trip. It would be the culmination of all the hard work and resolve that went into this film. The realization began to set in that we were about to reach the end of this unprecedented undertaking. With the finality of this adventure approaching, nothing sounded worse than a return to the rigors of daily life. Arkansas may not find itself at the pinnacle of SEC glory, but its picturesque setting and undying fan support helped make it the perfect culture fit for a conference so steeped in tradition.
Last stop.
13-1, baby.
Last stop. Let's go in. Last ride, number 14. Heck, let's go call those hogs.
Let's go call.
Hey, you can't come to Arkansas to Razorback Stadium without calling the hogs at least once. It may be one of the most annoying, it may be one of the worst chants in college football, but I'm gonna start calling the hogs, so woo! Pig Suey!
Wow. Due to their 6-6 record last year, maybe they should just focus on football and not maybe kids soccer, but that's just me.
Kids soccer.
I'm not gonna tell them how to run their program, but.
When you come to Arkansas, do you think national championships? No, not necessarily. I think crazy, wild hog fans, and we've certainly met plenty of those here.
Yeah, you're definitely talking about national championships. We're not going to talk about it here. Jonathan Williams, Alex Collins, the running backs here at Arkansas, got them to 6-6. They're going to need it again if they hope to break that 500 barrier.
Man, this is it. The culmination of a journey, because right now, as you sit here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, our 14th stop on our Stadium Crashers tour, you can just start referring to us as the Conquerors.
3,900 miles, 14 stadiums, 9 days. It has been a crazy trip over these 9 days, going all over, checking out all the towns, all the SEC stadiums. This is our last stop. It's sad, but it has been an amazing journey.
The ride home symbolically began to transition us back to reality from what was a cathartic 9-day snapshot of what can happen when you decide to follow your dreams. You know, reflection can be a funny thing. Who would have thought that sleeping in dingy roadside motel rooms, the tedious and seemingly never-ending drives to each location, and living off turkey sandwiches would all be so worth it in the end? I learned that one of the most important things in life is to find your passion, whatever it is. Societal norms do not have to apply to everyone, and there is room for us all along the lonely street of dreams. And if someone is standing in the way of your aspirations, then they are standing in the way of who you are and what you want to be, and life is nothing without great adventure. 9 days on the road, traveling through the deep South with my great friend, and learning so much about the vast culture of the Southeastern Conference, and visiting the very stadiums that symbolize my admiration for what college football stands for, was an unforgettable and life-changing experience.
Although my lifelong friend Brian Cooper is no longer here, when this project came about, it felt like destiny. Stadiums were always a passion of Brian's, and it was as if seeing these daunting structures, Brian was seeing them too, through my eyes. When we first set out to make this film, we incurred many roadblocks. We didn't have a crew, nor the best equipment. Fundraising was at a standstill. We crashed our drone not once, but twice, and could have succumbed to the mounting challenges. Bear Bryant said it best: if you believe in yourself and have dedication and pride, and never quit, you'll be a winner. Now here we are at the conclusion of this excursion, and I can't help but hope that I made Brian proud. Only time will tell. We had the task of telling you a story that reached far beyond the act of crashing football stadiums. This is a story about breaking the norms and staying the course, while pursuing what's in your heart.
The Show Me Tigers travel to the Southland to take on the boys of the Empire State of the South. Here's shotgun, Lambert gonna take it and fake it and look and fire down in the corner. Caught for a touchdown. Reggie Davis caught it in the corner of the end zone. Reggie Davis scored. It's 30-6. And my God Almighty, we have ridded ourselves of that nasty loss in Tennessee.
They say that in the SEC, everyone is family, and after leaving Athens 3 months ago, we knew that it was only a matter of time until we reconnected with David Hughes. David put us up in one of the luxurious Georgia game day condos, which provided the perfect backdrop for an unforgettable football weekend. And we found out the hard way that Georgia tailgates harder than most teams play. And we did all we could just to hang in there. After crashing so many empty stadiums during the off-season, it was all too necessary that we soak in the wonderful sights, sounds, and beverages that accompany a college football Saturday in Athens. After all, what would college football be without gorgeous women dancing and children playing pickup games of football as a perfect afternoon slowly gives way to dusk? Indeed, it was the allure of a key SEC conference game between Missouri and Georgia that brought us back on this day. As game time approached, we waded through an endless sea of red-clad Bulldog fans on our way to Sanford Stadium and looked on as people flooded into the gates in droves. They say God created autumn so they could play college football on its Saturdays, and tonight we know that to be true.
In the South, they say faith, family, and football. Not necessarily in that order. To some, football is a matter of life and death. After witnessing 93,000 people rise together as one while their team took the field, we can assure you that it's much more serious than that. When lost at sea, you look for the North Star to guide you home. You know, dreams are like stars. You may never touch them, but if you follow them, they will lead you right to your destiny.
Action.
That's a good blooper.
Oh, now you ruined it though. That's a good blooper.
Hey.
Shoot. It's all locked up.
And I think here comes security.
Great.
88,000 people on a September day, on a September Saturday.
This is crazy, man.
No one playing in it.
I know.
I'm sitting here.
Playing the game.
About these condos, game day condos of the University of Georgia. I don't even know. I wound up in a bathtub.
want money. They want a man to come in and provide so they can be a stay-at-home, eat bonbon, watch soap operas lady. Go shopping while you're slaving away in the plastics factory, coming home and changing diapers. I've been doing laundry all day. You go change the baby. 4 a.m. Need a couple hours of sleep. Got the plastics factory at 6. Only been off for 2 hours. Can you possibly change the baby? No? Oh, I suppose I lost my testicles in this situation.
Bartender.